Hey, aloha, Michelle Melendez with Blossom Inner Wellness. I'm here at my favorite place, says Poliaku Peace Garden, here on the big island of Hawaii, with the Pacific Ocean in front of me, if you can see that. And I'm sitting here next to my most favorite banyan tree. And I love this tree because it has these big old leaf things that go down into the earth and they root. They root into the earth to make the tree stronger and to make the tree be able to grow more. And so this video is about that. It's about expansion because this tree behind me is expanding out. And there's another tree, which I should do a video around. It's called the Morgan fig tree. Oh my gosh, it's humongous and amazing. But anyway, this tree is expanding, and how it expands is these roots come down. These roots come down, root in, anchor it down, and then it can expand and grow even larger and be stronger to hold its weight. So it's incredible. So why am I sharing that? Well, let me just start with, I want to give you some insights that maybe you know, maybe you don't know, about the programming of what has been our lives, our human lives, so far. So we're born, and then we go to school, and then we get these. You're supposed to go to college. You're supposed to get this job, this 8 to 5 job, and then you retire at 65 or 75 or whatever it is now, and then you die. So, and then a lot of times the things that people love, like art or music, that are more right brain, more of emotion based, those aren't usually seen as more valuable as like becoming a lawyer or a doctor and using your left brain. Why is that? Why is it that we go to school and we usually have we have a subject every hour, then there's a bell that rings, and then we go to we get a 10-minute break, and then we go back to school and have another hour, another subject, and the bell rings, another 10-minute break, and we have a lunch. What is that doing? It's actually programming us to be factory workers. That's actually what that system does. That's what the schooling system does. It programs us to get used to a bell ringing, just like in a factory, having a break, going back, doing some other work, more work, and then getting off at a certain time. But then you're not done. You have this homework. So these Waldorf schools, what are those about? Those are about actually letting the children find their own heart and their own passion and learning more about that. Now, why do children thrive in that type of environment? Because that is more in alignment with who they are, with what their body and what their spirit feels. They're actually getting in touch with their feelings and with their passions. That's what Waldorf schools are about, or different types of schools like that. Is finding, okay, little baby, little child, little kid, what is it that you like? Let's explore that. And that passion actually helps to open up their mind and learn a lot more. So why is that not really seen in our society as valuable? It's very interesting when you look at the programming of society and the way that it is, and the way that, like, for me, as you know, I'm 48 years old right now. And I see, these beautiful young girls in these really skimpy bikinis that are really very little. And I'll admit I did wear something like that in my 20s. But I look at it now, and I just look at it for, in my opinion, what it is, which is an exploitation of women, turning us into sex objects. So that's a programming too. So I know I feel like I'm jumping around, but I just want you to explore the different types of programming that has been in our society. Because when you look at the programming of women being exploited, and then relationships, a lot of relationships, the guys who wants the beautiful trophy wife. Why is she called a trophy? What does that mean? What programming is that telling our children and telling a woman her value? Her value is only good enough as long as she looks young and beautiful, because she could be a trophy. What type of programming is that is in our society? type of programming is it when people want to buy the big house and boats and cars and are dead up to their eyeballs, but they look like they're successful? What is that programming about? So I just want you to start to notice your own programming. Are you living a life that you truly love? Are you doing your passion? Are you living in a way that honors who you are as an emotional sentient being versus a human programmed being in the world? Are you living, are you in touch with your emotions? Are you acknowledging your emotions, or do you ignore them? I used to ignore them. Used to ignore them all the time, and now I feel into them. And I come and I meditate a lot and come into the peace garden. So I want to invite you for this day, this week, this hour, this minute to just explore your life. You know, the one thing that this V has done for us is it has helped us to stop and pause and take a look at our lives, because we are having a human experience, but we're not going to stay here for very long. So why are we here? What are we doing here? Are we here just to be born and to go to a factory job and work until we're 60, 75 years old, and then have a maybe 5 or 10, maybe 20-year retirement to do what we want, possibly, hopefully, if that works out financially? Is that what we're supposed to do? What if we're more than that? What if we're meant to follow our passion and let that guide us every step of the way? What would that feel like? What would it feel like to let go of worry and stress, even if you don't know where your next paycheck is coming from? What would it feel like to just know that you're always taken care of and always guided? Just like the sun is slowly going across the sky right now, the birds are chirping. The ocean, tides are running in the ocean. That's not stopping. That's always being done right now. This tree is growing minutely every single second, every single moment of every single day. It's growing behind me. What if your life is being taken care of just like the sun is feeding the trees and the plants around me? What if the earth has a plan for you? And what if that plan, the knowingness of that plan, comes from your heart and you're guided by your intuition versus what society has programmed us to think, be, do, and have? What if you let that go and you followed your intuition and you trusted, okay, universe, I don't know where my next paycheck is coming from, but I'm just going to follow my guidance. What feels right to me right now? And you just breathe into that. You start to explore that. How would your life be different if you just let it go and followed your gut instinct? Why is it that we are not taught about our emotional feelings? Why is it that we're not taught about the electromagnetic field that is in the empty space around us? And I'm just looking over there because just saw a person over there and I'm like, oh, cool. Caught my eye for a moment. But why aren't we taught about the empty space that's around me? This empty space, what is this? It's electromagnetic frequency. It's feeling into my frequency. This empty space around me is also around you. And we're actually connected in the field of all possibilities in this electromagnetic field. We're actually connected right now. What's that about? Start to explore it by getting in touch with your feelings and following your intuition. Following that, starting to notice your own personal programming of what you've been programmed to think and believe about life. Start to see your life and go, did I really want to buy that really big car? I mean, yeah, sure, it looks good, but now I have this, $1,200 car payment or whatever it is. Does that really bring me happiness and joy? Just start to explore it. See what happens. I send you so much aloha and love from the Big Island of Hawaii.